We are looking at a Mini Cooper with a Panoroof that stopped working. When inspecting the mechanism that moves the Panoroof, I have removed the actuator and found that one of the cables was and is snapped. The plan is to remove the Panoroof to try to replace these cables. We will have quite a few bolts to remove. The interior, the headlining has been removed. That's a big, long story. The actual actuator system is quite interesting. It has this wheel that sits here. These two cables are tensed and are kept close to this little wheel. And when you actuate the switches, this will move both cables, that allowing you to move the sunroof. If you do not service it and if the mechanism gets stuck, you will experience this type of failure. How to remove or how to disconnect the battery on a Mini Cooper 2015. By the looks of it, it is here, 8mm. 10mm over there. And we just want to get rid of the negative terminal. Be mindful not to touch that one. And now we are ready to work on the car without the battery getting in the way. So that I'm able to close the bonnet. This tray off, these two at least free. Ideally you would have a 8mm, 10mm, an extension and a ratchet. On the Mini and on many other BMWs, you would want to grease this mechanism to ensure that it doesn't fail. And you get stuck with a bonnet that doesn't want to open up. The problematic point will be in the cable itself, but right now we cannot address that bit, so we are just lubricating this. I'm expecting that in this point we have a type of joint, something, and by doing this you reduce the chances of the mechanism seizing completely. And this is how you save your bonnet release mechanism. Before we can remove the sunroof, we need to remove the harness for the curtain airbag, and I would also want to see if I'm able to remove the coupler. If not, I will just remove the harness itself, because I've previously disconnected the battery, and after that just wiggle the Panoroof. Interesting construction for the side curtain airbags. So these are riveted. You cannot remove it. The only way that you remove the side curtain airbag is by removing these clips. And many of the things are clipped, single use, special tools required. Okay, scrapping the idea with removing the coupler, we are just focusing on removing the harness that is connected to the Panoroof, because these couplers are quite stubborn and I don't want to damage anything on that side. So with a grommet puller, easily remove these things. If you don't have one of these tools, I'll place a link in the description. They are a lifesaver. Of course, if I would be using two hands, it would be better. To the side. Same story over there. Out of the way as much as possible, and on we go to get out sunroof. Train tubes, we have 4 of them. That one and the ones in the back. We must ensure that we connect these ones back. Back in the day when I was doing these repairs more often, other contractors would forget these bits and the cars would have all sorts of water leak issues. Now we need to release quite a few of 10mm bolts. Based on the BMW technical paperwork, we release the ones on the side and we leave the front ones to the last bit, a point where we will need someone else to assist us in removing this to ensure that we don't damage the glass and other bits. So let's start with the things, just loosening them up. There are quite a few of them, and these are some strange bolts. They're torqued to 5 or 6 Newton meters, and in places like this it actually is very important to have a quality torque wrench. You will see it a little bit later, the one that I'm using, to ensure that I'm not damaging the threads for this, because after that things are getting complicated. So good quality tools sometimes make sense. The strange bit, or the hard bit, is that in theory this lining is only removed if we remove the front screen, and I wouldn't want to damage it. This bit is also offering torsional resistance to the vehicle. So these ones you don't release them completely because they have a special washer. So these ones, the bolts, you don't release them completely. They will have a special washer that still keeps them in place. I remember reading about it in the technical specs. Back to the bolts. To make my life a little bit easier, I am planning of undoing these bolts and lifting part of the glass, so that the panel roof will be able to be lifted a little bit easier. T30, T25. One little bolt, second and the third. Same story on the other side. And La 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 la. La 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 la. Let's see what we have achieved. Oopsie daisy. This bit is quite heavy. Right now I am really tempted of sitting here, but good practice is to remove this leather strip, and if you want to sit on this, not on that, because you will be damaging it really bad. So this, and after that this little scratch is there already. Attempt the same idea of removing the glass also for the back part. By doing this, we will have an easier time at installing or removing the frame without damaging anything. 3 more bolts to go. All of the bolts are there. Time to lift it. This is what you see on the sunroof. We are now looking at how the mechanism works. So something pulls on this. This continues to lift. And the rest is magic. Well, things are not as simple as you would believe. The construction of this part is quite one use, very modular, very space effective. So there is no easy and visible access to this cable. And we have an assembly that is a 2-part clipped construction. I'm gonna try to release these bits and see what happens. Hopefully I'm able to reach the cable, but not an easy thing to replace. Let's see. Yes, somehow it does. Now it doesn't want to cooperate with me. So the mechanism is quite delicate and complicated. And all of these things that deposit end up in the sliders compromise the leveraging point and frictions inside, leading to all sorts of issues. Pom pom. After that, we bring this little thing over here. So buck. Now what about the rest? Time to do some reading. I'm using the BMW workshop manuals on the X12 on the IP919. Slide it to the back completely. Haha! So slide it from me to the back. But let's remember the position where we are now. And the second tab, that one, got out. And now I'm able to tilt it ever so gently. And I'm able to take it out. Da-da-dum, dum-da-dum. And now just pull on this and it is out. And this gives me now access to this little slider. So if I slide to the back, I should be able to take out completely. This being the original part that was doing all the magic. Congratulations. I hope I'm able to put everything back. Easy job. We are taking a look at the channel after cleaning it, just before placing the new cable. Same process will have to be done on the other side. This is an interesting observation. So looking at the shape of this bracket and the cable, we are able to see that the cable needs to slot in that area, and after that the bracket itself would slide underneath. Now let's see what grease do I have available. Yep, and the part fits quite well in the assembly. Surprisingly well. And by the looks of it, the new one just got in the right place. So when I push on this one, now it moves quite easily over there. Cleaning. To ensure that it will slide easily and correctly. And after we clean it, I will re-grease it. By doing this, we aim to prolong the life of this component. Let's do the same for these other matching surfaces. Avoiding big chunks of dirt will ensure that the mechanism doesn't get clogged in the near future. And the last one is this one. Will be. This goes in. So and after this, we grab that one and we need to slide this one somehow to reach the other position. And now up a little bit more in front, and now it has clicked in the right place. But I need to pull it back. A little bit more. This one goes in and locks everything up. And this is our mechanism. And I'm expecting us to lock it in this position, and after that do the calibration. One done, one more to go. I invented a new method of making this one move because it's quite stubborn. And you need to alternate. We just need to clear this bit so that we can remove the mechanism. Slide it to the back, pull it up, twist it a little bit on the top, and it's yours. This one, pull it towards you, up, and I still need to place back this little bit over here, which decided to disconnect. We pull this one to the back. By the looks of it, using the same method. With the Allen, we are testing that the actuator is actually introducing the correct movement to the mechanism, because it is. So again, looking at the mechanism and trying to see if it sticks or if it sticks, and the sound that I'm getting with the jumping tells me that it is sticking somewhere. Now the sticky point seems to be this mechanism, because when it should go from the horizontal position to the other one, it sticks. So now I'm closing it. Let's try to open it. Both of them are not synced now, and the cable is slipping due to increased resistance over here. Now we have noticed that the mechanism is not running as it should. Inspecting our actuator, we can see that these teeth are grinded, and now I'm comparing with a used part on eBay, which on the edge is perfectly straight. So if we compare the two, I do not know if to say that the mechanism is failing. It is having an increased resistance on this side, but at the same time our actuator, the teeth are not the correct ones. Let's see what we decide to do going forward. Ideally we should have changed, or BMW is saying to change the mechanism completely, but we try to do it a little bit more on a budget. And now is the part where you want a quality torque wrench for doing 5 Newton meters on all of these bolts. Quite tricky if you have a low cost torque wrench, because you can go over the 5 Newton meter value and damage the threads on a sunroof like this, making your life much more complicated. But we have the Wira, which is quite good. That one is done. This one is done. This one is done. That one is done. 1, 2, 4. One, 2, and 3, and so on. Here are the last of them. And now from the inside, we need to fix the bolts and align the glass. And so on for the last. We are taking a look at the sunroof actuator motor, old part versus newer parts. These teeth here are straight, and here they have a groove into it due to this slipping on the cables. I'm gonna install this and see if now the mechanism works after greasing it and replacing the cable. And finally, we are going to test if our repair works or not. We are actuating the sunroof mechanism mechanically to see if it works or not. I want to perform the calibration of the sunroof because we have done some work on the cables. Carry out initialization. The last thing that is left is to adjust how the glass is sitting by undoing the bolts and making sure that all of this is flush.